podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 383. It is a numeric palindrome of Film Bastards. My name's Ian Loring, and as always, I am joined by...
Becky Foster, hello everyone.
I'm Matt Foster, hello everybody.
Hello, one and all. Okay, coming up on this week's show, we have got a review of the Denzel Washington, Jared Leto, Rami Malek. Is one of them a serial killer, or all three of them serial killers? Who knows? Drama, thriller thing, The Little Things. We'll also have some what we've been watching, maybe a little bit of trailer talk, you know, all that kind of good stuff. Pretty standard show, but should be a good one, I reckon. Admin, wearepodsyndicate.com. The Rewatch Project has joined the ranks, and there may be other things bubbling as well. I know Mike was talking about something on the WhatsApp the other day that sounded incredibly fucking exciting. So we are upon.syndicate.com. You got the Rewatch Project, Jin Stroker versus Bunter, His Film, Her Movie, Jord and
Lauren.
Oh, sorry. I just had Hannah in my head. It was like, nope, that's Mike's wife. I'm so sorry, Lauren. That was just a brain fart on my part. You know, I went to your wedding. That was actually really embarrassing. But I'm going to leave it in. I just had Hannah like stuck in my head. It was like, that's not Jordan's wife.
Did you bring that thing where it went Hannah, and then you went, and your other part of your brain went, that's not right, and then it just went again, Hannah, and you just went, no, it's still not right.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yes. Iron Sequel, What's on Tap? I'm all discombobulated now. But anyway, also, the Iron Sequels, James Lawrence has written a fucking fantastic bit of work, which I just need to actually pull my finger out my arse and do some work to make it live. We're going to be doing a series of articles kind of celebrating Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because we want to. There's no particular reason. And
it literally is. That is literally the reason, isn't it? It was just well, why the fuck not?
yeah, absolutely. It's the piece is called Once Upon a Time in Laurel Canyon, and it's a fucking blinding bit of work. I'm gonna make a commitment to get that out on the site before this fucking podcast goes live, because James probably thinks I'm an absolute bellend. He wrote it fucking weeks ago. I feel really bad. Anyway, you know, I used to be a managing editor of a film website. Now I've got a kid and I'm tired. So, so wearepodsyndicate.com. Also, in that universe, Jordan and I's Second There and Back Again show went live yesterday at time of recording. We talked about the Two Towers. Got Return of the King coming up. I know Becky's recently watched Return of the King as well.
Whole trilogy.
What do you want to come? Do you want to come on the fucking show?
I don't really have an awful lot to say about it. It's just
All right then.
I can do.
Well,
I might
don't
not
want to force
add
you.
anything
Sorry. Sorry.
I'd like to, but I don't know whether I'd add anything of value.
No.
But I'll try.
Let's talk. Let's talk.
Okay.
But you'll have to watch the Hobbit trilogy as well.
Oh dear.
We'll talk.
I've never watched that.
Well, fuck yeah, we will talk. Okay. So there and back again. Also, a new Playing It Forward went live on the bonus feed where There and Back Again also is as well. Which
Featuring the most Mark film ever, yeah?
Yes. William Friedkin's Jade, the most Mark film ever made. I, biased, but I thought that was a fucking cracking recording.
It was. I think it was the best selection of movies that we got that were all very, very different, but all very, very good. And everybody really seemed to enjoy them all for very different reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. So we covered Don't Let Go, Night Moves, Jade, The Blue Collar. Really interesting selection of fucking films. So that's on the Pod Syndicate bonus feed as well. And I think the final bit of show admin, I said to patrons I was going to get 2 Bond commentaries done in January. I did it. I got one done on the 1st and I got one done on the 31st.
that very much is. I'm going to fucking start this right. I'm going to get it done so I can get 2 done at fucking least. And then, shit, I better get this other one done. I made a commitment and I got it done. So there's me on The Spy Who Loved Me, where I misremember a ton of shit. It's interesting. The Spy Who Loved Me, just that review just reeks of contractual obligation.
I don't know, man. The Spy Who Loved Me. It's an interesting one. The first 2 acts are like proper interesting Bond. There's a couple of sequences in it which I swear to fucking God would not be out of place in a giallo. Honestly. And then the last third is pretty interminable. It's such a weird film. But yeah, that's The Spy Who Loved Me, and I recorded on Her Majesty's Secret Service on New Year's Day and nearly set my house on fire during it. So yeah. The Bond shows, it's going to be an interesting schedule now because obviously I've got to fucking elongate these out another 7 months now. So we'll see what happens. But License to Kill coming in February, and I believe Die Another Day as well, which is going to be fucking interesting. So yeah, and we'll be doing more of that as well. I'm going to put out another set of votes for commentaries leading up to No Time to Die. Can you imagine if I just say now, after all this, No Time to Die 3 out of 5? Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, just like, it's fine, it's all right. Might not watch it again.
Like, mate, fucking. Anyway, that is admin. Patreon.com/filmbastards, $2 a month. Help much appreciated. So, anything I forgot there, guys? I feel it's pretty
quite comprehensive.
Yeah. I thought so too. Good. All right, cool. So, film news. I know. Oh, there's a new Taylor Sheridan film.
Yes.
Which is going to be, Warner's are releasing it, so it'll also be on HBO Max. But it's coming out in May in the US.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like that might be a theatrical over here. I'm just throwing it out there.
Expected May the 14th.
Yeah. I'd feel pretty confident about that. Mark, I know you were quite excited about it. What is this?
It's a Western, but starring
There's not too much, actually, I don't think, known about it, but you've got Angelina Jolie in there, Nicholas Hoult, John Bernthal, Aidan Gillen, Tyler Perry is out there as well.
Instant watch.
Fucking hell, yeah. I watched a randomly, you know when you go down a YouTube hole?
Yeah.
Right. So I went down like a YouTube hole and ended up on like the I forget what they're called. Fucking people who design buildings. Architects, yeah. The architect's review or something like that. And it was Tyler
You have
Perry.
no business being there, man.
I don't know. It was Tyler Perry giving you a tour of Tyler Perry Studios.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely fucking fascinating. And you just looked at him going, holy shit, you have the biggest movie studio in the world. And it's called Tyler Perry Studios. And he's just wandering around it. And like, he's showing like there's a building. And I'll get back to the film that we're talking about again in a second. There's a building that he shows you where he goes, right, we needed this building. And what we did was we thought, rather than just building like a fascia for it, what we'll do is we'll build a real building. But we'll build 4 different fascias for it. So at one side it's one building, and he shows you, and then it walks around it and goes, and this is another building, and then walks around it. So it's this one square building that literally from all 4 sides looks completely different, and it is mental.
That is weird.
And also, he's building, his studio have built the only studio available replica of the White House that is 80% accurate. And it's just mad, some of like the shows that are shot at Tyler Perry Studios and some of the films that have been shot there that you just didn't know that were there. It's quite something. So I reckon people just track it down if you're in any way interested in that. But yes, Tyler Perry's in it, so it's an instant fucking watch. Also as well, Tyler Sheridan's movies are often quite uncompromising.
He did Hell or High Water, didn't he?
No, he did Wind River.
He wrote Hell or High Water, didn't he?
He did write Hell or High Water, yes, yeah. And he wrote Sicario as well.
Yeah.
But Wind River was the written and directed one.
Yeah.
And he's been doing that TV series that has Kevin Costner in it. Can't remember what it's called. That's another Western one. What is it called? What's it called?
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone, yeah, which apparently is fantastic.
Like a really bleak version of The Ranch.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, is that the one that Kelly Riley's been kind of like hiding in?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Kevin Costner, Luke Grimes, Kelly Riley, Wes Bentley, Cole Hauser. Fucking hell, that's a decent cast. Yeah, so I'm always up for. Weirdly, it's one of those things where I was a couple of weeks ago going, has Tyler Sheridan done anything recently? Or has he got anything on the fucking, what is it? And it was like, oh, he's got an entire TV series that I've not watched.
But you don't do TV.
I don't do TV, no.
Because you're fucking.
Because I'm awesome.
No. Fucking weirdo.
However, I did watch a TV series recently.
Match of the Day isn't a TV series, Mark.
No, I watched the High Fidelity TV series.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I fucking loved it.
Really sad that there's no more.
I was really upset that there's going to be no more. It's a really... I'm angry with myself it took me that long to get to it because it's really fucking good. And the way that they deal with having Rob as being a girl rather than a boy is really well done and makes perfect sense. And the fact that if you know the story quite well, you're waiting for certain moments to happen, and then when they do happen, you go, "Oh, that's that. Oh, fair play. Well done with that. That's quite well. I enjoyed that moment."
Enough cum produced to kill an elephant there, Mark, or?
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Easy.
High five, Bex.
Luckily, she's got the bathroom. No,
actually, really.
I think she was fine with me just going, yeah, this is brilliant.
All right, fair enough. No, good. Also, deals are still out there. Sundance is happening, and I believe it was Apple bought Coda.
Yes.
I want to say it was called.
You mean the film that was on literally everybody's recently watched on Letterboxd recently?
Yeah. So apparently about a hearing girl brought up in a deaf family. I believe bought for about $25 million, which is like a Sundance record. And Apple obviously thinking it might be a bit of a contender for, I'm assuming, next year Oscar season.
Oh, Apple literally just went in there and went, bang, we want to break a fucking record. There you fucking go, have that. Because we're Apple and we've got shitloads.
Yeah.
They just wanted to go in and go fucking big straight away and cause a bit of a that was their marketing strategy with this.
Seems like. Yeah, it seems like it, doesn't it? I mean, it's like Netflix a few years back before they started making films themselves, where they were coming out with all these big money deals. Whereas now Netflix aren't as interested in acquisitions. They will, but they're also more than happy to make a David Fincher themselves. Thank you very much. You know,
and as well, I don't know if anybody else got this, but literally I got an email the other day from Apple saying, "Oh, your subscription to Apple TV runs out next month." And I was thinking, "Oh, yeah, you're right, it does." It went, "Nah, it don't, mate. You have it free for another 6 months." I was like, "Oh, fair enough."
Yeah, I mean that the Apple TV thing is a little bit the gift that keeps on giving, but then What does it give? Hey, do you want a Justin Timberlake thing that no one's ever heard of?
Hey, that was our most watched film we had, last week.
Even though it may be
sorry, 8 films.
No, but it made me laugh though, because somebody pointed out that on Letterboxd there's only about 2,000 entries for it. So it's like, okay, it's your most watched thing, and the most rabid film community on the fucking internet. Only 2,000 people watched it. I don't know.
We're a podcast that literally laps up content like a motherfucker, don't we? We fucking challenge ourselves. What, one review? No, we're gonna do 17 reviews in 1 week. and even we went, oh shit, yeah, that film came out.
What film is this that we're talking about?
Palmer. It looks alright. But it's like 2 hours 4 or something like that.
Worthy though, isn't it? It's got Juno Temple in it. I like Juno Temple.
Does she play a drug addict?
I don't know. I've not seen the film.
Oh, I need to look at all Juno. You say Juno Temple.
I didn't know
all that says to me is.
Stevens.
Sorry?
It's directed by Fisher Stevens.
Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer's ex.
Yes. That's quite interesting. Yeah, let's have a look.
What shit? I want to see who the fuck she plays. Hang on. Juno Temple is Shelley, Sam's mother. Okay. Is it a bad mother?
Yeah, she's got to be. It's Juno Temple.
One day.
But she'll have issues.
Okay. Oh.
No. Yeah, an ex-convict strikes up a friendship with a boy from a troubled home, so she's the mother.
Oh, his mum Shelley constantly leaves town. Yeah, all right then. Yeah, that sounds like Juno Temple.
There we go.
Aww.
Not sounds like Juno Temple. It sounds like a Juno Temple role.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just. Sorry.
I like Juno Temple, but there was a good couple of years where she was in an awful lot.
It's like the Pooter.
Yeah.
She was in loads for a few years, and now she just pops up every now and then.
In badly fitting jeans.
Well, literally, just in 2012
Like to be a pair of those jeans.
alone, right? Juno Temple was in Dark Knight Rises, in a blink and you'll miss her. The Brass Teapot, which I thought was actually really quite fun.
It is good, yeah.
Killer Joe, Small Apartments, and Jack and Diane.
It's busy here. Oh, hello?
Hello?
Yeah, there.
What are you looking at?
Nothing. Is he still there?
I think
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So it was, yeah. Yeah, it is a very Juno Temple role.
You don't know. We'll have to watch the movie.
We might do at some point in like a couple of months when no else on.
Yeah.
I,
He's a bad actor, though, when he
He's
acts.
fine, but he looks like he's gonna be sad in that.
I mean, he always looks a bit sad in his
I know, but
films,
I just, and also, you look at him and go, you seem to have it all a few years ago here, Justin. You know, you had Jessica Biel, who was hot and fun, and you were in The Social Network, and everything was there. And then now his wife's an anti-vaxxer, and he was in Trolls World Tour.
Parenthood changes people.
Yep.
does it make them anti-vaxxers?
It made her an
Clearly, in
anti-vaxxer.
Jessica Biel's case, yeah.
Bloody hell. I mean, well, to be fair, we've got some Justin Timberlake coming up next week, haven't we?
Why, what's he in?
Oh,
Oh, of course he is, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one that
So-
Buffy's as well?
Sorry?
Is that the one that Buffy's in as well?
yeah. And The Rock.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Yeah.
It's got Justin Timberlake miming all these things that I've done.
Yeah.
It's, oh, God, I can't wait. I actually can't fucking wait to rewatch Southland Tales.
We watched it again, not too long back, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah, I'm sure we did.
Have you got access to the can cut?
Yes.
Okay.
I just remember it being extremely chaotic.
I'm very much looking forward to the rewatch of it, to be honest.
Isn't there a blimp?
I think there's a blimp. There's a blimp and there's Wallace Shawn, if I remember correctly. Is he in it?
I think he might be, yeah.
I think some sort of blimp, and there's. I'm just gonna Google Wallace Shawn blimp.
Who's Wallace Shawn?
Oh, he's a hey that guy.
Yeah.
Holy fucking
He's a-
shit, he's a hey that guy.
He's a hey that guy, and he's also a I fucking hate that guy.
Oh, it's that guy off of The Princess
Yeah,
Bride.
I fucking hate that
The
guy.
inconceivable guy.
Yes.
What bilingual?
What's wrong with
I don't like him. I don't know why, but I just don't like him. I think it's because too many people, because I don't like The Princess Bride, and it's one of the few Rob Reiner movies I don't like. Too many people have quoted that to me, and it's got to the point, it's got to like Monty Python levels of, I want to punch you in the face if you quote it to me.
The Princess Bride's a fucking great film. You are incorrect on this one.
I don't think I am.
You are.
I think it's one of those films, like the Monty Python films, that's nowhere near as
No.
funny as people like to think
It's
that
not.
it is.
It's not about funny. It's not just a funny film. It's a good film.
Fine, I don't agree with you.
Right, you are wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You are often wrong. Let's be honest.
I know.
More
I know.
often than not wrong.
I did think I got away with that one a little bit,
Yeah.
and then realised that I hadn't.
I was gonna let it go, but then I couldn't.
Thanks.
You are welcome.
Oh, I can't fucking wait. I can't fucking wait. Oh, next week is. I mean, today's going to be a fun show, but next week's going to be a fucking doozy. Oh, I'm pumped. Right. Trailers. I haven't got much. I've got one that I remember.
I can't remember any, but if you've got one, I might have watched it, and I might have just forgot I watched it. What have you got?
New trailer for Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yes. Did watch this.
Up for it.
Yep.
Little bit disappointed that the Last Dragon is literally a dragon,
Yep.
and meh, with it being voiced by Awkwafina.
Yeah, it feels a little obvious, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Also,
But-
don't like the design of it.
Design not great.
No. What is it about Disney at the moment and having everything be that kind of colour? That kind of like off greeny blue colour. It just that pastely neon-y look.
It reminds people of going into the unknown.
It does feel like a little bit like they're hammering that too much, and it just. I was really looking forward to this, and I'm still looking forward to it. But that trailer did make me go, "Oh, all right, fair enough."
Yeah, I think they need to let it go. And the first trailer had a way cooler vibe to me, but assuming that cinemas are still not, I think this comes out like the first week of March, so cinemas will not be open.
This is already confirmed that it's coming to.
It's Disney Plus Premier Access and cinemas where available.
Yeah.
So not here. I am looking forward to paying £15 and watching this in 4K Dolby Vision with the girls of a Friday night. That's going to be a real treat. I wish I was seeing it in the cinema, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. And the fact that from the studio that brought you started with Moana gives me faith.
Yeah, it'll be a really good, nice family movie night for you guys.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think any coconuts will be considered, but I think I'm going to enjoy it all the same. Have you two seen Moana?
Yes.
Yeah, just needed to make sure that considering the coconut was something that you just didn't think I was just having a stroke.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I don't really get the reference, and I've seen Moana quite a few times.
You have to consider the coconut, consider its leaves.
Is it from one of the songs?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to see Moana again.
Clearly I do.
Yeah.
To be fair, I love Moana. It's probably my favourite modern Disney movie.
Not enough to consider its coconuts.
Look, I can't say the word fucking shiny about anything without bursting into song, Ian, so leave me alone.
Was that Moana?
Shiny. Yeah. I can't do it. If anything's shiny and I happen to say that it's shiny, my brain starts singing and then my mouth just follows.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, not.
What song is that? It's a good musical number. I'm gonna watch Moana again tomorrow.
Fair enough.
You should do it and remember to consider the coconut.
Okay. It'll be on Disney Plus, won't it?
Yeah.
Consider its leaves.
You what?
And consider its leaves.
Consider its leaves, okay. Do you know what really annoys me? There's been loads of noise on Twitter this week about dinosaurs coming to Disney Plus. Not on my Disney Plus. I would watch the fucking shit out of dinosaurs.
It's because part of what is it? Stars.
I don't know.
Didn't dinosaurs end with them seeing meteors in the sky?
Yeah. Dark as fuck.
That's fucking horrific.
Isn't it?
Like, that is awful. You imagine because I watched dinosaurs when I was a kid. Thank fuck I didn't watch that episode.
Did you not watch it to the end?
No, I don't know. It was on and I watched it when it was on. But what a fucking horrific way to end a TV series ostensibly aimed at kids.
It's a fucking bleak one for sure.
Fuck me. That's, no. I'm a bit deflated now.
Gonna come in?
11 more, you can make a calendar.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hey, stranger. Tired of steaming up that glass? Prezzies?
Oh, yeah.
This is the part where I start feeling like it's a trap.
Open it up, find out.
It's not a pair of mittens.
Go on, take a look. You know you want to.
Right, let's talk about John Lee Hancock's The Little Things, starring Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto. horrific Jared Leto. Oh, dearie me. Right. Story is Denzel Washington plays a cop who is asked to basically do some kind of like bullshit admin work, which results in him going back to his old precinct, where he like starts kind of like sniffing around a mystery, which Rami Malek is trying to solve, that of the work of a serial killer, and Jared Leto comes into it. He looks a bit dodgy. Is he the killer? Who knows? I think that's probably it, actually, in terms of synopsis. Becky, The Little Things. What did you think?
I mean, to be fair, even before pressing play on this, it was pretty much a lock that we were gonna like it. It is very much our kind of cup of tea, isn't it? The throwbacky kind of feeling of it, the sort of thrillery vibe. But I think there's elements of it that are a little bit undercooked. I think the latching on to Leto as the suspect is it's quite a tenuous link, isn't it? Like there's no real kind of, well, yeah, this evidence points to him. It's just like, oh, she was due to have some maintenance work done, and it was this company. And look at him, he's got no eyebrows and he's really skinny and he's a bit creepy. Let's get him in for a chat. And then, yes, obviously, he does kind of, he ramps up the reasoning behind why they would latch on to it being him in the interview, because he's creepy as fuck and he gets a hard on when he's looking at pictures of murdered people. And
that girl points him out.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be admissible because
but he still does point him out.
Yeah. So yeah, there's I think they could have made that a little bit more, well, obviously it's him, and then kind of had but maybe it wasn't. But overall, I absolutely fucking loved it. I thought all three of the main actors in it, and I do not have a lot of time for Rami Malek and his weird face, but I thought he was really good in this. And that honestly, it pains me a little bit to say it, but I did think he was really good in it. Denzel was Denzel. He's always fucking good. He's a class act, isn't he? He's just Denzel. He's just Denzel-y and everything, and it just makes everything better. And Jared Leto was very suitably creepy in it. I think obviously there's certain accusations, let's say, that have been levelled at it in the media, in reviews and things like that, but I'm sure we'll get into those once you guys have said your piece. That's me.
Yeah, no, it's it feels pretty Becky Nip, to be fair, I think.
It will.
Yeah, like dark thriller, drama, 90s kind of elements to it. Like strong lead cut. Yeah, I could see that. Mark, thoughts?
I really, again, I really liked it. It's got plenty of atmosphere towards it. There was points where I was looking at it going, fucking hell, Denzel looks old. He looks old, and it is that they've made him look old within it.
I turned to you at one point, didn't I? Right at the start, and went, Mark, I don't want to even consider the possibility that he's not wearing a fat suit right now, because it would just break it for me.
Yeah, which he clearly is wearing a fat suit.
Yeah.
But I think stylistically it looks good. It is.
I think it's beautifully directed. Actually, sorry, just to jump in. I think the fact that what they've done, obviously, with versus another film that it's been compared to, but again, we'll get into that when we talk about the media reaction. But it's set in a real place rather than a fictional place, but it goes to great lengths not to show you the standard views of the real place. It's not your average LA. It's very much kind of little out of the way pockets of LA that it shows you, so it feels like it could be. It feels like a world outside the world.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about it is that it was written in the early 90s.
Yeah, it's like 30 years old.
Yeah.
Really.
and when they've made it now, Johnny Hooker the temptation was to possibly bring it forward and have it set now. And he said that straight away that idea was like, no, fuck it, we're going to make it a period piece in the 90s. But because it was written in the 90s, we don't have to try and show that we're making it a period piece by going back and putting markers in that point it out as being 90s. It just is. It doesn't. It has no. There's no like lingering shots on like old style mobile phones or anything like that that basically makes you go, oh, this isn't set now. But no, I thought it was quite interesting. It's
there was one bit where when he takes him off in the car, and I was like, surely police have got like trackers and stuff on their phones, and I was like, no, 90s.
Yeah. I like it, but I really liked it. I think Rami Malek, it's good in it, but I think it takes him a little bit of time to get going. I think part of that is just getting used to the fact that he has an odd energy.
I think once him and Denzel start playing off each other, once they get more screen time together and they're working together, it elevates Rami Malek's performance.
Yeah, and it does. Yeah, it does. But as well, I don't think he ever tries to steal focus from Denzel. And Denzel is an actor who he can be quite big, but I don't think he ever tries to. I don't think he ever tries to steal focus unless it's part of the character.
He doesn't need to.
So, for instance, Training Day, he steals all focus away from Ethan Hawke, but it's not because Denzel's stealing it away from Ethan Hawke. The character is stealing it away from there. Can I also point out, it is insane that Training Day is 20 years old this year. That is mental.
It's insane. The 90s are like 30 years ago, Mark.
No, Training Day is 20 years old this year. That is insane. That film feels like it released like 6-7 years ago. But yeah, I really like that. I also like the fact that we as a collective have been trying to work out and going, right, which one of them is a serial killer? Are all of them serial killers in some way or anything like that?
It's definitely Rami Malek.
And then I love the fact that literally the whole serial killer thing is a fucking MacGuffin.
Yeah.
It's one of them. And
well, no, you don't know it's not Jared Leto.
It's not Jared Leto.
If you don't know it's not, it still could be.
It's not. And I love that the fact is that the film is taking on this ride and going, look, it's this story about this, and it's that, and then when you find out, actually, no, it's not. It's about Denzel's character realizing that what he needs to do isn't to solve this case because it's just one of those things. It might not be solved. What he needs to do now is make sure that it doesn't ruin Rami Malek's character like it ruined him.
Ruined his, yeah.
And that's where his focus shifts to. And it's really fucking good. I really enjoyed it. I'll get to a point that I need to make about the film, not just the film itself, but the overriding reaction to the film after Ian's given us his thoughts.
Just real quick before we go over to Ian, when Rami Malek takes the red beret out of the package that Denzel sent him, what were your guys' thought process? Because mine was, oh look, Denzel sent him a beret to make him feel better.
My initial thought was, no, what's that gonna be? And then when it had the packet, I was like, oh, I was kind of hoping it wasn't gonna be that, but well played movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it had me there. I thought, because it was also quite close to the end, I just thought, oh, fucking hell, it was Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, all right, fair. So, it was...
Because it shows him going back to that hidey hole, doesn't it? But then it shows his reaction to something he finds, but not what he finds. So it could have been the beret at that point.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, I mean, it gives you all the clues, as the snowman once told us. I thought it was solid, man. It's the kind of thing that I wish I was seeing in the cinema, because I would have eaten it up with a spoon,
Yeah.
Malek is, he's good. I mean, he's just very low energy, or he seems to be at first. But then when he's paired up with Denzel, you just realise, no, he's just really fucking focused.
Yeah.
And I thought that really brought that to light. I mean, Jared Leto. I mean, it's just he's just playing it 10% more than he should be. Like every single thing that he does, it's like dial it back 10% and you will be fine. I'm not saying you'll be amazing, but you will be fine.
Is there a thing here? Can I just quickly interject that Jared Leto is actually a bit of a crap actor, but just that no one's actually kind of, because he's not ever been absolutely terrible in anything, but I don't think he's ever been really good in anything either.
No, I don't agree there. I think that's meant to be the character. He's meant to be the kind of guy that if you had a conversation with him, you'd be like, Jesus Christ, dial it fucking back. I think that's intentional.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's a fair point, actually.
That he is just off kilter. I don't know. It just, and maybe I don't know. Maybe it was the way it was written, but just some of the like kind of back and forth that he had was very. I'm just going to annoy you here. You know, every like to the characters in the place, it's like every single thing. It's just like, yeah, I am actively trying to piss you off, and it would have been nice to get a bit more of why that was, you know. And I mean, at the end, you know, he's with Rami Malek, and he's just like, I'm making you do all this because it's not me, and essentially kind of fuck you.
That was fucking hilarious when he kept having him just digging more and more holes.
Digging holes.
Yeah. I love that bit. No, shit. No. I think it's over there. And it's like, it's obvious that it's not him and that he's just fucking with him. But if you fuck with a armed police officer that has been on a fucking stakeout for the last, 24 hours or something, and you're just messing with him like that, and he already kind of thinks it's you, it's probably not going to end well.
I did like the fact that it snaps, so he just hits him with the shovel once.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't beat him or
he
anything.
He doesn't mean to kill him.
No.
And it's just he lost it for a second, and it's good that the juxtaposition with what happened to Denzel's character, and that is it was just a snap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
one of them it's through fear, the other one it's through frustration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like this shouldn't ruin you.
I like the fact that he didn't shoot him as
well.
well.
He doesn't shoot him, he just hits him with the thing. And you know, yeah, he hits him with a shovel, but the chances are it's a 1 in 1,000 chance that you're going to fucking kill them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the fact that afterwards he's like, "Hey, man, get up," you know, yeah. I mean, it's. I like that he wasn't like a cop like on the edge, you know. It's like he is kind of on the edge, but it's, you know, it's not because he's like staying up all night and, you know, hard drinking and stuff. It's just he's just super focused. He's being not led down the garden path by Denzel, but maybe Denzel's being a little bit the devil on his shoulder, but unintentionally. You know, that's the thing. It's so much of this film is not like things going in a way that you almost kind of expect them to, but the flow of it is different. It's not Denzel going like, it's him. It's Denzel going, look at this, look at all the evidence and whatnot, and Rami Malek actually processing it in a sane way, and then just through these, I mean, because he basically accidentally kills Jared Leto because he's pissing him off.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's interesting. Hello, monkey. You all right? Sorry?
Heard what you just said.
Thank you. You just heard what I said. Okay.
Those were your two last ones.
Yep.
of those ones are in that box.
Okay, thanks, babe.
Just to let you know.
No, thank you, honey.
Have you?
Love you. See you in a bit.
Is your small child bringing you beer?
Yep.
Well
Fair
played.
play, well trained.
Yeah, no, I just texted Dom and oh shit. All right, dog. Hang on, 2 ticks. Sorry. There you go. Yeah, no, she brings me beer quite a lot now. It's good.
I like the fact that he's undoing as well. It is, like you're saying, it's not because he's burning the candle both ends and going out and taking drugs to stay awake and then taking drugs to go to sleep and drinking. It's a promise that he's made to a missing girl's family. That's what breaks him.
Yeah, no, exactly, and it feels more real as a result there. You know, it's interesting because it very well plays both Denzel's and Malik's arcs, and this kind of film is getting increasingly rare. This kind of film would usually just like go on Netflix now, and it's a shame that it's basically going straight to HBO Max. Like, I hope that when cinemas are open over here, that Warner do just give it a slot.
I'll go see it again.
I'd be tempted to as well.
Do you know what? I think it's a type of movie that could just get that. What is it? And just go. Do you know what? Let's put it out just a quiet week, couple of weeks after cinemas reopen. Let's just go bang, because it will get enough people going to watch it.
I love a police procedural. Love it.
The thing is, it's very interesting what you just said there, because it falls into what some of the I think we spoke to on quite a lot.
Mid-budget movies.
It is that you don't get that many movies nowadays that are made for grown-ups.
No.
That aren't specific. So you still get your horrors and things like that.
But we said this when Motherless Brooklyn came out as well, didn't we?
Yeah, but that are made for grown-ups that aren't action movies or anything like that are just thrillers. And for instance, I remember, a great experience in the cinema was going to see a few years ago. I got to see Prisoners. I'd heard nothing about it. We were reviewing it for the show. I knew nothing about it. I went to see it on an afternoon and was like, this is fucking brilliant. And I am really glad I'm seeing this in the cinema. And I'd have loved seeing this in the cinema. The one, the Nicole Kidman one, Destroyer, was it? From a couple of years ago. It's a really good film. And it has parallels to something like this. And it's, the thing is, these movies are becoming more rare than they were in the 90s, because they were making a lot of money. They were prevalent in the 90s because you didn't have the market that they were trying to hit was the 30s to 50s market. The problem is now that market falls into the same category as the superhero market.
Yeah, yes, we're all fucking nerds.
And so you've had that crossover. And the problem is that when you get a movie like this that comes out, like the Little Things, the problem is the people who don't like it because it's not a fucking superhero movie, because it's not tightly packed up, because it's not a Fast and Furious movie, because it's not all of those things. Shut my mouth and go, it's just boring. It's just a throwback to 90s thrillers. It's like, yeah, so.
Right,
yeah,
so
what's the problem with that?
That's one of the big criticisms that's been levelled against it, is its comparisons in sort of tone and content to Seven.
Right. Seven's a 26-year. Sorry, go
on. I don't know. I was reading these reviews saying about it being it's just like it's partner piece for Seven and blah blah blah. It's not a bad film to be being compared to for a start, and also the script was written an awfully long time ago.
Before Seven, actually.
Yeah. So it's I feel like it's a bit unfair, but if you get a fairly ambiguous police procedural with the suspect or killer or whatever playing with the police, you are going to get those comparisons. It doesn't mean that those films shouldn't be made.
Well, can I throw an example here? So, for instance, and that is something that he's getting. What is it saying? Oh, well, it's just Seven. It's just
try to be Seven.
Try to be Seven. It's like, well, no. Seven's a 26-year-old movie, right? So, do people throw the same accusation when Nightcrawler came out that it's just trying to be Taxi Driver? They don't. They say, oh, it's taking a lot of influences from Taxi Driver. And it is a little bit like, oh, like you said there, no, it's a police procedural movie. Like you said, they're all going to get drawn to Seven. I don't think it's actually got that many. It didn't remind me that much of Seven.
I think it's more, for me, Jared Leto's character feels a lot like.
He's got some John Doe fucking feeling to him, hasn't he?
But also, he's got a bit of a kind of Robin Williams in Insomnia vibe to it as well.
Yeah.
And they were the two performances that I kind of went, ooh, it's kind of it's similar to, like, it feels influenced by those performances. But I wouldn't ever kind of go, like, shit, because that is just copying Robin Williams or he's just copying Kevin Spacey. I just think if you're playing that kind of character, then those comparisons are going to be made. But it's not. It doesn't have to be like, well, it's shit because of that.
The problem, I think there's a level of a little bit like whenever a movie like this comes out that is a mid-budget thriller that doesn't rely on set pieces, don't rely on special effects, but relies on being well made and well acted and looking good. And it does. I think it looks like it's a very good looking movie without looking flashy. The problem is now there's such a need to compare things. So people will then go,
you want to put it in a box.
Oh, well, it's not as good as Seven, or it's not as good as Heat. And it's like, oh, right. You're talking top end fucking genre movies there. You're talking like fucking top of the tree. Why does it need to be that? You know, if I go to the cinema, if I went to the cinema and watched this and came out of it and was like, you know, and every fucking crime thriller I went to was a between 7 and 8 out of 10, and then every couple of years or every year I got 9 out of 10. I'd be well happy with that. And it's the problem is it's one of those things where people always go on about and say that these movies don't exist and they're becoming more rare. And it's like, yeah,
this is why.
This is why.
It just
because
feels like
people needlessly shit on them for no fucking reason.
It just feels lazy to me. It's like, oh, this kind of feels vaguely similar to this thing, but it's not as good, so I'm just going to shit on it. It's like that's not valid reviewing.
No, it's not. The thing is, I don't know. I think because it's a genre that I love, a type of movie that I love.
We're a bit biased.
When they come about, I like them because it's
a new one.
It's something that I really really like.
Yeah.
And the problem is then when people chirp in and start going, "Ah, yeah, but it's shit." It's this like all you're doing is you're narrowing the amount of things that I'm gonna like.
Yeah. I sorry, I was just enjoying that conversation. It's nice when you two are in a flow and you're not arguing.
Fuck you, Mark.
Ow.
I heard that. Yeah.
Another criticism that's been levelled at it is, is this really a film we need right now when there's all this stuff about police getting away with hurting people? And it's like, this isn't about that. Again, that feels like a lazy comparison.
I'd say to those people at that point, I'd go, ooh, if you want a film that tackles that and that takes that head on, I've got a great recommendation for you. When they go, all right, yeah, watch a film called Dragged Across Concrete. It's quite long, but it addresses those points that you're making right now.
But I do kind of get the whole, they're helped to cover up this stuff that they do, and they don't really neither of them get a comeuppance apart from their own self-imposed comeuppance, which obviously is what Denzel is trying to save Rami Malek from by sending him the hair clip. I kind of get that, but it's not. This isn't a movie about corrupt cops beating people and killing them because they don't give a shit. One's an accident because there's a murderer on the loose and someone comes out the bushes and he's scared. The other one's an accident because he's fucking pissing him off because he's been a dickhead. Yeah. And it's an accident. You know, I don't feel like that really is a.
Yeah,
there's other films you could take issue with.
That's a Oh, please, seriously.
Hmm.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Mm.
That is a massive version of that.
It is, yeah.
I get the feeling that for me a little bit, and not everyone will like this movie, and I get that because it's that, but it's a little bit like it's a movie for grown-ups. So if you don't like grown-up movies, then don't watch it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, if you don't like watching a murder investigation movie that slowly unfolds, that's what this is. Don't watch it.
Yeah.
Go and watch a Marvel movie.
If you think Rick and Morty is the height of comedy, don't watch this.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't trying to be a
This
comedy.
is the comedy of the year, is it, Mark?
No, what I mean is it's that element of, I don't know, just
But the thing is, I get it. It is quite ploddy, and if you don't like slow-paced movies that you kind of have to be patient with, and you have to kind of take that time with them to you have to let it unfold. It's not just fucking immediate gratification. If that's not your kind of movie, then don't watch it. But then don't shit all over it either.
There's no set piece in it.
No.
I think that it'll throw people, and I think what happened was in the 90s you had the 80s, which had a lot of, you had action cinema, you had action stars, and these films were action movies. And then as the 90s started to come in, you had things like Silence of the Lambs was very successful, both critically and commercially. And so there was a procedural element towards that, and it was a little bit darker and things like that. So you moved out from the action movies of things like your Die Hards and your Schwarzenegger movies and things like that, and you moved more into, you hadn't quite hit, special effects weren't quite a thing yet. So thrillers and things like that started having a bit of a boom. The Fugitive made a shitload of money, and that's what was making money. And then once you started hitting the late 90s, into the noughties, special effects were becoming more prevalent, and that's what it was. And it became less about story, more about spectacle.
Awesome trashy horror was a big thing in the 90s as well.
It was, but that was like a genre thing that started to come back, and that was born out of Scream. But then, and part of that was a throwback to the 80s horror, because people could shoot really cheap on digital, like they could shoot cheap on video in the 80s. And so you had that element. But what happened while all this was going on is your action movies that were usually, or your thrillers became action movies again, because you could do these things with set pieces using special effects. And then what happened there is, the problem was that you couldn't have, for instance, and the Fast and Furious series are a key example in this, in the fact that Fast and Furious movies started out as 15s, but then you couldn't hit every quadrant to that, so they had to go down to 12s.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened, and it's the bastardization of what you had with these movies to what they are now, what is taking up their space now, has led to things like every movie that normally 25 years ago, for instance, Bad Boys was an 18.
Has to be 12.
It has to be. It wasn't, because the Bad Boys was still 15, but it had to be. It had to be nostalgia bit. It had to be bombastic. It had to have big special effects. It had to have a hip hop soundtrack, and it had to have all of these things. And I really liked Bad Boys for Life, but it's just if you take it from where it was in the mid 90s to the mid 90s one to the one we had now, in those three movies, they're actually quite far away from each other in terms of for what they actually are, and what they represent, and all three of them are quite different. And it's a weird little pocket of cinema that occasionally crops up, and when something crops up and it's good, Prisoners, for instance, we go, oh god, I wish there was more movies like that. But then studios will go, fuck it, we'll make a couple of these, that mirrors something like this, because Prisoners and things like that are successful, but then no one goes to see them, so that it slows down again until one accidentally makes a shitload of money, and then it bounces like that, and it's like westerns. You know, you fucking going back to the 50s and the 60s, you know, westerns were the thing that made money in cinema. You know, now we get the occasional western because they don't really make money, and then you'll have a little boom like the early 90s where westerns made a bit of money, you know, in Tombstone, Dance with Wolves and post that. And then recently you had another thing with westerns where they made a bit of money because of Django, they had the Magnificent Seven and things like that. But because that didn't make as much money as they hoped it would do, it's kind of gone off the wave again. And it'll pop back up again in 3 or 4 years' time when something accidentally makes a shitload of money.
War movies come in the same kind of way.
Yeah, war movies, it's
I like a good war movie.
It's cyclical in the way it works.
Yeah.
And there ends my TED Talk.
I love that. Love like hearing you guys. I don't know. It seems very much like a Mark and Becky one, so I wanted to kind of like leave you be with there, guys. And to be fair, the dog's got an ostrich bone in the background and has been going nuts with it. So I've had my mic muted for a couple of minutes. So
where did she find and kill an ostrich?
Oh, she has always. No, like we order them on the internet and they fucking last months.
Nice.
I'm not surprised that massive are ostriches.
Oh yeah, man. Like these bones are big and she fucking loves them. Don't you, Keeks? Yeah. Oh, she just broke a bit off.
Say about the little things before we move on.
Yeah.
Definitely not shit for me.
Oh, yeah, definitely not shit.
For sure.
I'd be pleasantly surprised, but surprised if this isn't in my top 10 of the year.
Yeah, it's launched straight into what I would be going. Yeah, that'll be a top 10 of the year considerer, and I'll be very happy if it's not in my top 10.
Yeah, because it means we'll have seen 10 better films, which is always yay. But
I would say we will watch this at least once more this year, probably twice.
Yes, it will go into our thriller rotation.
It will do, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I'm definitely not shit. Definitely not shit.
Yeah.
Ian?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely not shit. It's a good time.
Our audience poll, definitely not shit, 67%. Touching cloth, 11%. And shit, 22%.
The Mulberry Boys, every Friday night. On the show, you better know they keep it tight. ETL is back and the J-Strom's in the zone. Introduce the co-host, he doesn't do it alone. PCZ is about to hold court. You know he's on the headset, you can hear him snort. Pop culture, movies, TV shows, and games. Rotten Tomatoes, reviews, news, and Blu-rays. Foggy don't play around, he will bust a drop fast. Welcome to the Entertainment Landfill Podcast, the Jason and Steven Show. It's the Jason and Steven Show. What? The Jason and Steven Show. It's the Jason and Steven Show.
Hey, you like my voice, don't you? It's enticing and exotic and sexy. Well, unfortunately, I'm just a promo guy being paid to advertise a movie podcast, and I can assure you that its hosts don't sound anywhere near as classy. But don't let my superior vocal talents discourage you, and go listen to His Film, Her Movie, the podcast where every episode the hosts must each choose a film to watch and discuss that has a connection to the chosen theme of that week's show. So stop aimlessly scrolling through whatever streaming service you're on, and let His Film, Her Movie give you an idea on what to watch next. You can catch it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's time for some What We've Been Watching. And who wants to kick it off, guys?
What have you watched solo, Becky?
Well, I've only watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy solo, and if I'm going to go and be a welcome guest on Ian and Jordan's There and Back Again, I will not say too much about them.
All right. So.
Give me 1 second.
No. Okay. I've not watched.
That's all I've watched on my own. I started watching Seaberg today. I will not be watching the rest of it.
Not very good.
It's dull.
I've not watched anything on my own. Well, I have, but they're on the Playing It Forward thing. So what I will say there is, Jade, I'll just do a very quick what is it, but if you want to hear more in more detail what I thought of this movie and what Ian thought of these movies, then please listen to Playing It Forward on the Pod Syndicate bonus shows. But Jade, yeah, it's just fucking great. But it very much is one of the most marked movies ever made. Night Moves is really good. Gene Hackman is just Gene Hackman. He's just wonderful. We watched quite a bit of Gene Hackman recently, haven't we?
Yeah, in getting grishy with it.
In getting grishy with it, yes. And then Blue Collar surprised me. Really, really good film. Contains, which I don't think we've mentioned this, Ian, a really weird sex thing.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't get mentioned on Play It Forward, so I think I can mention it here. Contains a really weird sex scene where it's literally a guy banging a girl on the floor, but they are literally crawling along the floor as it's along the carpet in the coital throes. But it's almost like rhythmic and like walking. It's so bizarre.
Oh, I saw a Valentine's card advertised the other day that reminded me of that fucking film that you love with Madonna in it.
Oh, Body of Evidence.
Body of Evidence. That's the one on top of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a Valentine's Day card that I saw that said "Sit on my face and glaze
like a donut." Yes.
Yeah. And it made me think of Body of Evidence.
Yeah.
Well, if we're not going to talk about Don't Let Go, then
you can talk about Don't Let Go.
Right, you could talk about it, Bags. Yeah, for sure.
But you can jump in because I don't like holding court. It makes me feel like self-conscious. Don't go. Yeah, so obviously this was your contribution, wasn't it, Ian, to Paying It Forward?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you've spoken about it quite a few times. Really took me by surprise, actually. It's not that it was good, because obviously you have good taste, but it took me by surprise how like kind of how thought provoking it was. There's like a lot of little bits in it that are like, that is nice. There's the shot where he goes to the cafe in his time and she goes to the cafe in the past, and they do the whole bit with the bubble gum.
Yeah, fucking brilliant.
And then it shows the shot from outside and they're both sat at the table. Oh, that's a beautiful shot.
Wonderful shot.
The bit as well where he gets her to spray the Red Cross onto the door. And Mark sort of turned to me and he was like, "Oh, if a Red Cross just starts gradually appearing, then I'm going to lose my shit." And I was like, no, it won't appear while he's watching. It'll appear when he goes in the room or something. He'll turn back round and it'll be there. And he fucking does, and it is. And it's like, and then all the world goes juddery because things have changed. And then there's the bit as well, because it's a bit where he changes one thing. I think he gets her to call the police on his dad or on her dad.
Yeah.
Or something. And the timeline changes. But she still dies. She just died a day earlier. And it's like, fuck. It's like butterfly effect type shit. Like little changes are not necessarily going to have the effect that you think that they're going to have.
It's a fucking great movie.
Butterfly effect.
I was quoting.
I've got to be on it. Right, the butterfly effect. Slight tangent before I forget. One of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen in my life is the butterfly effect, where there is a shot of like a bath tap. And then just in from the corner, this is at least how I remember it, in from the corner of the frame comes Ashton Kutcher's stump to fucking turn it on. For some reason, that fucking killed me.
Did he not? Did the original ending where he strangled himself with his umbilical cord in the womb not kill you as well? It's like, let's be real, embryos don't have that kind of autonomy, do they? They're not there able to do shit like that.
Ashton Kutcher's a very smart man.
I mean,
So
not how he presents to the world.
I know, which is amazing because he really is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. But yeah, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, I thought it was clever in that because you kind of think that you're going to go through this kind of timeline and he's going to do something and then she's going to be fine, and then he does something and then she's still not fine, and it's like, oh fuck, yeah, he's got to get this exactly right. There's variables here, and it kind of makes you think, right, fuck, you know, better pay a bit more attention here because this is going to get intense, and it does really draw you in. I was really enjoyed it actually. Yeah.
Oh, that was very touching, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Are we going on to Adam Sandler Made Me Cry?
Yes, we are going to Adam Sandler Made Me Cry. Go
on. So we watched Blended. Have you seen Blended, Ian? Yeah.
I've actually not.
Oh, okay. So basically, Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore, Gone Blind Date.
Yeah, you watched Blended. I rewatched Blended.
You rewatched Blended because, yeah. To be fair, the previous Drew Barrymore, Adam Sandler movie is... What else is there?
There is. Wedding Singer and 51st Dates.
Oh gosh, yeah, Wedding Singer. I always forget that's her because she's very young in it. But yeah, the other collaborations that they've done, they're bangers, aren't they? 51st Dates is fucking great. Possibly a touch problematic viewing it through today's lens, that he just keeps kind of going and pretending that he doesn't know her. It's a bit kind of manipulative, but...
No, but we watched it recently and it doesn't come across that way.
No, it doesn't.
It's quite charming.
On paper.
Yeah, but paper gets a fuck out.
But yeah, they bounce off each other very, very well. So yeah, he's a widower, she is a divorcee. Her kid's father is
well, her kid's father is played by Joel McHale, so
being the most Joel McHale that he could possibly be. So he's a bit shit. And they go on a blind date, and he takes her to Hooters, and it just doesn't go well.
No,
and she's in the bathroom telling her babysitter to call up with an emergency in like 5 minutes time, and then she gets back to the table and his babysitter or eldest kid calls up with an emergency, and it's like, see what you did there. But then through various circumstances they end up on holiday together, don't they? His boss and her business partner
are seeing each other, which they don't know about, and they end up splitting up, and both of them end up taking on the holiday without the other person knowing.
Yeah. So they end up there, and then Terry Crews is singing, and it's all about blended families and stuff like that, and obviously, gradually over the holiday, they form a connection, and it's all a thing, and then
what?
I know, it's shocking. And then they kind of nearly kiss, don't they? And then he has a bit of a kind of crisis of whatever, because his middle daughter is still very caught up about the mother and still imagines that she's there as a presence, and he just can't do it. So she thinks she's been rejected. He just can't take that step, and then they end up back at home, and through various circumstances end up meeting back up again, don't they?
Yeah.
And,
Is this the kind of Adam Sandler film where the mother is played by like Octavia Spencer, and just every now and then it cuts to her just going
No,
she's dead.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the ghost of her, like it's a joke. It's just wouldn't expect Adam Sandler to be married to Octavia Spencer.
It's not one of Sandler's silly voice movies.
Okay, all right, that's
It's
that's
very
the distinction I needed,
isn't it? It's so very heartfelt, and the youngest of her children. So she's got 2 boys and he's got 3 girls, and he's raised his girls in the best way that a father on his own can. So they're he just treats them like boys, basically. They've got short hair, they wear sports clothes, they do a lot of sport. She's raising her boys, and she's a very anxious mother, so she doesn't really let them do anything. One of them's got like ADD type symptoms. The other one wanks to photos of his babysitter's head stuck onto like
the kid on masturbator is a big fucking deal in this movie.
Yeah, and Adam Sandler frequently refers to him as the masturbator, which is fun. So obviously they're missing a mother, her kids are missing a father, and because Joel McHale's kind of shit, the younger one that's got all this like pent up energy, he plays baseball, but he's not very good at it. So like while they're away in Africa, Adam Sandler kind of gives him a bit of like coaching about like hitting the ball and all this kind of stuff, and it's quite a nice little moment. But then they go back, and Joel McHale's the father, and he doesn't want to like step on his toes, so he doesn't go to he's not there at his game. But then he's like, no, I realised that I should be here, and like he goes and he's shouting to him about like, lift your elbow, you can do this, and it's so, I don't know whether it's a stepkid thing, but it made me cry, because it just made me think like he's there for him, and it's not his kid, it doesn't have to be, but he's fucking there because he's a good dad.
I think I think we were talking about this when we were actually watching it, because I had said to you, look, give this a go, because it's actually, when Sandler is on form, and he's on form more often than he's not. That's the myth about Adam Sandler, is he's actually on form more than he's not. When he's on form, he's either very, very funny or he's very, very charming. And he's very, very charming in this. And Drew Barrymore is also very charming in this.
Drew Barrymore's very charming in like pretty much any scenario.
But then they're funny, but they never try. It's not gross out comedy.
No.
It's not that. It's situational amusement. And the silliest thing in the entire movie is Terry Crews playing the leader of a band that is at the resort.
Yeah.
Who just crops up in random places and starts singing at them.
Yeah.
Whilst dancing and twitching his pecs.
I mean, that is.
It
good.
Is
some good peck.
Blending genuinely, I think, is a great movie.
Yeah.
That had it come across earlier in Sandler's career, would be celebrated in the same way as something like Wedding Singer is celebrated. But because it came about towards the end of his cinematic career, just before everything started going to Netflix, it's viewed as being less so.
But it's lumped in with all that Netflix shite, isn't it?
I mean, there's some quality stuff in that Netflix shite. I think it's more that it came about around the same time as like things like Grown Ups and Jack and Jill and bits like that. And it's not, but it also is very much, oh look, Adam Sandler wanted to go to Africa, there's all the family. Yeah. It's that. You know, there was a few of these movies for a few years where Adam Sandler went somewhere, went on holiday, and made a movie and got paid $30 million for doing it.
No, it's really good. It properly took me by surprise. The thing is, an Adam Sandler film done well, they have a lot of heart to them. They do have, they're sweet films, a lot of them.
Hubie Halloween.
Hubie Halloween is a sweet film. It is.
I just wish he didn't do the voice.
Fair enough, but I think it of the voice movies, it's a higher caliber.
It is, yeah.
We also watched A Time to Kill as part of our Getting Grishy with It. I think we'll
sorry.
We'll do a little quick bit on these, but then I think we will do a pod for the Patreons to what is it. So you want to hear us talk more about that? There will be a Patreon podcast at some point in the near future.
Can I just point out to you that you just said a pod for the pod Patreon?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I went full 80s DJ.
Yeah.
So A Time to Kill, the Joel Schumacher.
So what was the previous one to this? Because the previous one had comic relief, didn't we? We commented last week that A Time to Kill does not have comic relief.
The previous one to this was The Client, wasn't it? That's not got much comic relief.
The Firm? It
was The Firm and it was The Client.
Was it The Firm?
Cabin Boy?
Busey in it.
The Firm does have Gary Busey in it, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what we were saying.
But I would say I think this one has more, because it has Oliver Platt in it. I would say he had a little bit of, but the drama is amped up when you add the fact that the Klan are a very big thing in this movie, and the whole story is cruxed upon a rape and near murder of a little black girl.
Oh, a rape and attempted lynching of a little black girl.
Yeah.
Who's Oliver Platt?
Oliver Platt plays his mate.
Yes. No, but he's not like in like stupid funny mode though, is he? Like Gary Busey's kind of stupid funny.
I don't think he actually is in The Firm. I just think Gary Busey himself is just amusing.
Fair enough. Yeah, and there's what's his face in this as well, isn't he? Is he?
The only bit I would say that is very strange about A Time to Kill is it's like halfway through Joel Schumacher went, so I've got Sandy B and I've got Matty Mac, and I need to get these guys together. But the problem is, I gave him a hot wife earlier, and I sent her away. But now if I have him bone her, I lose all fucking sympathy for his character.
But I like that. You don't see it often where you have sexual tension in a film between characters that then they don't end up shagging.
Yeah,
because filmmakers are lazy and they know people like seeing sex. And in this, you have sexual tension between those two characters and they don't do anything.
Yeah, and
I like that.
You literally have a scene where she literally says, "Do you want me to stay?" And he says, "Yes."
That's why you should go.
That's why you should go.
Yeah.
And that's it. And like you say, yeah, that's actually fair enough. Yeah, you're right there. But
there's Donald Sutherland in it doing a fucking great Southern accent.
Yep. Ashley Judd in it, just being Ashley
Blonde.
Judd, yeah,
Really
blonde.
freaks me out when Ashley Judd's blonde and stuff.
Yeah. She had a blonde little period for
Mm.
like a couple of years, between
Mm.
like 94 and 96, she was blonde.
It's better as a brunette.
I just had to remind myself that you weren't still talking about Blended. I was thinking, like, oh, Donald Sutherland and Ashley Judd were in Blended.
But yeah, also Samuel L. Jackson in a pre-Samuel L. Jackson role.
Yeah.
In that.
Before he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good. Is A Time to Kill. It's maybe a touch too long though,
Possibly.
and gets a little bit too earnest towards the end, I think. But I think the reason why you got this movie is partially is for the earnestness.
Yeah, I mean, it's really heavy shit that they're dealing with, isn't it? Like with some of the other ones, there's room for a little bit of comic relief, and there's room for it to be a little bit lighter. The subject matter is
well, that's it.
dark.
You've got Matthew McConaughey's closing statement that he gives, and he's going through it, and you watch it going, do you know what, filmmaker and Matt, you're laying it on a bit thick here. And then he punches you with the line of, now imagine she's white, and it's just like, fuck, all right, well fucking played. But the brilliance of that is Samuel Jackson's reaction to it, and he just turns around and is like, oh shit, I see what you've done there.
Well, the bit where Samuel L. Jackson has the conversation with him as well about like why he wanted him to represent him instead of the NAACP is, you know, you're one of them, you're one of the bad guys. You just need to say what would be needed to convince you. You need to decide what would convince you, and then obviously that sets Matthew McConaughey off on a little kind of, well, what got me and what pissed me off so much about this was looking at my little girl and thinking, what if it was her? Yeah. And then, you know, all the pieces come together.
And then moving on, continuing with getting gritty with it, we went on The Chamber, which is more clan action.
More clan action, yeah.
They were quite clanny, these, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that John Grisham doesn't like the clan.
I don't think many people like the clan unless you're in the clan.
I think if you're in the clan,
I think a lot of those don't actually like it.
No.
But yeah, it gets clanny again. With James Foley's The Chamber, not quite as strong as The Firm, A Time to Kill, or the other one that we've got, The Client.
I think it's quite thought-provoking though, because you've got, you know, Gene Hackman's playing this character who's a baby killer, Klansman piece of shit,
and unapologetic about it. But when Chris O'Donnell's, who is obviously his grandson, but he's changed his name and basically like wiped, you know, washed his hands of Gene Hackman and that side of the family. But when he goes and he's interviewing him and stuff like that, I mean, yeah, he obviously holds these beliefs because he's been raised with them, but he's not a baby killer because it wasn't really his bomb, and he's just kind of to protect someone higher up in the clan. He's taken the blame and he's about to go to the fucking gas chamber for it, but he's still a piece of shit. But the film manages to make him a relatively sympathetic piece of shit because you kind of. I think in almost any other actor's hands, it wouldn't work.
No.
But in Gene Hackman's hands, it works really well in the sense that what he does is he shows you the monster quite frequently, and quite often he shows you the monster, an unapologetic version of the monster. But also at the same time shows you the humanity behind it all as well. And he becomes an almost sympathetic character. But it's almost like even he knows he's beyond redemption, and that, yeah, he might not be responsible for this, but he still probably deserves to die. And it doesn't try and get you to, it puts it in a thing of does this person deserve to die? It doesn't go to that. It goes, look, you either agree with corporal punishment or you don't.
Well, and
but here you are.
That's a conversation that A Time to Kill tackled as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock goes to help Matthew McConaughey because she doesn't believe in the death penalty. He believes in the death penalty, but doesn't believe that Samuel L. Jackson deserves it.
But yeah, and it's a very interesting. That's a very interesting scene actually in a Time to Kill, where she basically says, "I thought you were a liberal," and he's like, "I am a liberal. Just because I'm a liberal doesn't mean I have to agree with everything that you say. I don't agree with. I do agree with the death penalty." Yeah, it was a really interesting scene. Then she loses her shit, storms out, and then has to kind of back down a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the chamber, it's good, but it's not of that level. And then we'll next watch The Rainmaker.
We did. There's some comic relief in this one.
Yes, there's a lot of comic relief in this one. Weirdly, out of all of these so far, we've had 2 Joel Schumachers.
Yeah.
A Sidney Pollack and a James Foley have been the other ones so far, directors of these. And then this one's a Francis Ford Coppola.
So you'd think, gosh, this is going to be beautifully directed.
Yeah.
This is going to be the best directed.
It's the most TV looking of the lot of them.
Absolutely, yeah.
It is an absolute... Oh, remember that time when Francis Ford Coppola was Francis Ford Coppola? And it's actually only a really small amount of time. Rainmaker is good, but it's more charging on the energy of, for instance, Matt Damon's youthful exuberance and Danny DeVito just being really quite good in a Danny DeVito role.
You do get the satisfaction of seeing John Voight get the rug pulled out from under his feet and get really pissed off, though.
Yeah, another actor who I still don't think has ever actually been good in anything. I just think people think he's been good in things.
Claire Danes doing like a voice is always a fun time to watch as well.
Yeah, I enjoyed The Rainmaker. I'm just not sure it's that good a movie.
Yeah.
And it's 2 and a bit hours long.
Yeah.
But and also now we are halfway through the Gingerbread Man, aren't we?
Yes.
So yeah, there'll be more Grishy talk next week.
Yeah, it will.
What have you been watching here?
Looking forward to that, man. Okay, so it was a lot of playing it forward and whatnot, and the Spy Who Loved Me for the Patreon. So, did I talk about Welcome to Marwen last week? I've got a feeling that no, I thought I forgot it. So, yeah, Welcome to Marwen. I welcomed myself to Marwen, which is Robert Zemeckis' film from a couple of years back. One of the kind of the biggest bombs of the last few years, quite frankly. It only cost like $40 million, but made something like 6 or 7 worldwide. You know, like really quite a big bomb. And I know, Bex, you've seen it and just were a little bit meh on it, yeah?
Bex has got to grab a drink.
Oh, okay. I think that's right. Anyway, so I was kind of like weirdly, pleasantly surprised by it. I can't say it's good, but it's fucking interesting. Basically, so if anyone's seen Marwen Cole, the documentary, it's a fictional version of that, where basically a guy was jumped and attacked by some people in a bar, or almost killed him, basically because he made some sort of comment about liking wearing women's shoes, and he does, you know, and the trauma of what had happened is played out through him making a fictional village of models in a Belgian town called Marwen, a fictional Belgian town. And Leslie Mann plays a new neighbor who comes into his life, and he thinks essentially he could maybe kind of begin his life again. He kind of falls for her, while the toys, who are motion capture performed by Steve Carell, and like the women in the main character's life, kind of go on adventures which play out the kind of the PTSD that he's suffering in his head. So the family hit of the year, obviously. It's such a Robert Zemeckis thinking, I can get my visual effects toys out and I can fucking tell this story. A documentary's already told this story. No, I can tell this story. Bit of hubris that only a, frankly, like, white male director who has had spots of success over the previous 30 years could probably get away with. But the visualization of it all is undeniably visually engaging. You know, it's doing some wild shit. And not just in that, there is a moment late on where there is a static shot, of Steve Carell on a sofa, which is one of the most quietly devastating things I've seen in a while. What led to that moment is kind of fucking ridiculous, but the way it's played, it's something. It doesn't work, but fair fucking play to Zemeckis trying it. It's like Cats. Doesn't work. Fair play, you gave it a go. You had way more money than you should have had, and way more star power than you should have had, and you're riding on previous success. But I can't say I didn't hate it, which is Cats and Welcome to Marwen.
A weird double bill.
Weird, odd double bill. And yeah, with all the other stuff that we've been watching and whatnot, the only other thing I've got for this week is Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl. It's on Disney Plus, 4K Dolby Vision. Looks nice. It's not available in 4K physically or anything, so I was quite happy with that. And it was Saturday night. I was a bit hungover, and it was just like I just want to like indulge and wallow in something for like 2.5 hours. Yeah, all right then. The first Pirates of the Caribbean. Johnny Depp, he's bloody good in this. He is.
The thing is, I've seen, I think, all of them, including the one that I keep forgetting exists. Let's be honest, the first Pirates of the Caribbean is a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's good.
I'm gonna watch the others. I haven't seen the fifth one, so I'm kind of intrigued from that aspect alone. But yeah, I mean, he's good. Keira Knightley's fun. Orlando Bloom is there. Jeffrey Rush is having a fun time. It's a knockabout adventure.
It was weird because it kind of came out of nowhere. It was Disney took a punt on something, and it really fucking worked.
Yeah.
But then the problem is they've been flogging that fucking horse since, and they've killed it as a franchise. That first movie still stands up.
But I mean, like in the last 10 years, there has only been 2 Pirates films.
That's too many though.
I mean, the thing is, in 20 years, there have been 5, and in the last 10, there's been 2.
They went at too great a lick to start off with.
Yeah, well, I mean, they shot 2 and 3.
And then left it.
Sorry?
They should have just done it as a trilogy and left it there.
Yeah, well, I mean, the key creatives behind the camera dropped out. Like, Gore Verbinski only did the first 3, and then they got Rob Marshall in for the 4th one. And and I think that the people who did Kon-Tiki, I think, did the 5th one, which is interesting. But yeah, it's Johnny Depp, complicated fellow. Pirates of the Caribbean.
That was very diplomatic.
Yeah. Pirates of the Caribbean, probably the film that started him on his journey to being that kind of complicated fellow who could spend tens of thousands of pounds a week on wine.
Yeah.
Before Pirates, that wouldn't have happened. After Pirates, Slippy Slope. But yeah, I think it's really entertaining. I like Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm looking forward to watching at least the next two.
What I would say is, on Stranger Tides, the fourth one, it's weird because it's not very good, but every time Penelope Cruz is on screen, it is fantastic because she is brilliant in it.
Yeah, she is good.
She's just phenomenally entertaining in it.
I know, I want to watch the Pirates movies.
It's just Ian McShane's the wrong'un. That's got to be more fun than I remember it being. The fifth one, Javier Bardem's the bad guy. How the fuck have I not seen that?
It's a weird one. Is the fifth? It's surprisingly low energy.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. You know, I mean, it's Johnny Depp. What, like 4 years ago? That's gonna be some low energy Johnny Depp.
It's odd. It's really fucking odd. It's Dead Men Tell No Tales.
I'll get to it. Or in some areas, it's called Salazar's Revenge.
Yeah. I mean, it still made $800 million.
Yeah, fucking ridiculous.
Fucking hell. The thing is, it's mental the amount of money these movies made. It is insane how successful a franchise this was.
And
the
look,
one that made the least was the first.
How much that make?
And that made $654 million.
In 2003 money, yes, please.
Yep. Dead Man's Chest in 2006, $1 billion. At World's End in 2007,
yep,
$960 million. Stranger Tides in 2011, $1 billion. And Dead Men Tell No Tales in 2017, $800 million. It never had a dip. You know, its dip
not a dip enough to go, oh dear. Yeah.
It never had one that cost $300 million and only made $250 million. You know, but people will say that they're a bit crap. But clearly there was still people still wanted to go and see them. You know, and I think there's supposed to be another one as well, isn't there, at some point?
Well, it's the Margot Robbie one. Like, they're backing away from Johnny Depp, and they reckon it's going to be Margot Robbie doing, like, a female-fronted reboot. Would watch.
Yeah.
No.
We'll watch.
Will not.
Why?
I'm a bit over Margot Robbie.
Why?
I just don't think she's very good.
In what?
I'll watch Margot Robbie be a drunk pirate any day of the fucking week. Jesus Christ.
You actually do like her and stuff. You just don't like them. There's something there. Is this catty jealousy?
What?
Is this catty jealousy? What don't you like her in? You're going to struggle here, aren't you? Because you like Birds of Prey. She doesn't make that many movies. She's an odd one, is Margot Robbie. She doesn't make that much.
She had that awful looking Mary Queen of Scots, didn't she?
You haven't seen it though.
She had that awful Slaughterhouse role.
Slaughterhouse Rules?
Yeah.
You're going back a bit of time here, Alex. Clutching.
No, I just don't like
You're clutching.
I just don't like her. No, I don't dislike her. I don't want to see her as a drunken pirate though. Like,
I'd be very up for that.
I know you would. Hot chick being a pirate.
Yep. Fair enough.
At least it won't have Orlando Bloom being just there, though, will it? Like, I'm glad that little fucking dark shadow on cinema's passed. Just needs fucked off. And he just Katy Perry's.
Yeah, he's done alright.
Mantoid.
He's done alright for himself, hasn't
he? He has, yeah, but can you just stick to doing that? Just impregnate Katy Perry every once in a while and just stay in the background.
I'm sure he'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm sure most people would.
Yeah.
Not my cup of tea musically, but she's got certain attributes.
Are you talking about capital bangers?
Capital bangers.
And on that note, let's have some questions.
Right, let me get I just put my phone away, despite the fact that I knew that was coming. Filler. There we go.
Have we got a salty question again this week?
We have Christopher Burns says, no question, I just think Mark should see this. And it's promotion for the Pauly Shore movie In the Army Now, where Pauly Shore literally shaved people's heads on MTV.
Very good.
I would have been, yes. And it would have been fun.
Shave me, Pauly, shave me.
Don't quite think I'd have been like that.
I think you would.
Plimpton, if Mark gave a film a 5 and classed it as a definitely shit, does that mean the rating system is definitely shit 1 to 5, touching cloth 6, definitely not shit 7 to 10? Geostorm, Suspiria, another entity, just trying to understand the correlation.
Yes, you are correct. Next question.
Is in reference to me giving Outside the Wire essentially a 2.5 on Letterboxd, which would make it a 5 out of 10. The thing is, for me, for a start, I got taught down further the more I spoke about Outside the Wire.
Well, I think that's how discussion works, doesn't it? Especially in the current environment. You might sit and watch something and go, I, on my own here, without having discussed it with anybody, think it was a blah. And then on discussion with people that you can't see face to face at the moment because life, you then go, actually, yeah, I do have more of a problem with that than I thought I did. Or actually, I've probably been a bit harsh there, and I probably don't have as much of a problem with that. So it's fluid to an extent, isn't it?
It is. I think mine as well boils down to the... for instance, I think that Outside the Wire isn't... I don't think it's a definitely shit because of personal things. Like I thought... what's that one called that you liked that is actually crap?
I'm thinking of ending things.
Yeah, just not my bag. So I think it's shit, but it's a just not my bag thing. So there are occasionally movies like that where I can go, look, this is not my bag, but I can see it's a well-made movie, but it's not for me. So I can't say it's shit. And there's that's where they get a touching cloth. Whereas Outside the Wire had bits that I thought were vague bits that I thought were interesting like that, but nothing saved it from being just shit, because it is just shit, really. And so I think it's like that. I think there's different... like some people will ascribe with comedies and will say, if a comedy makes you laugh a certain amount of times, it can't therefore be shit. I don't agree with that. Comedies are supposed to make you laugh. So if a comedy fails to make you laugh a certain amount of times, it's doing less than the bare minimum.
So I'm literally going to piss myself. I'll be back in a sec. I'm so sorry.
So there are little bits like that where movies where, for instance, like a movie at some point where that I might give 4 out of 10 and then say that it's touching cloth for me.
Because you can see how other people would like it.
Yeah, and so there's a little bit of that. So I think it's a.
I think asking like how the numbers correlate to the rating is ascribing a lot more accuracy to our system than it probably deserves.
yeah. It very much is that.
It's more of a gut feeling kind of thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It is that. But then,
I would never sort of go, that's an X amount out of 10 movie for me, because I just.
Well, you don't on Letterboxd, do you?
I never do.
You don't put the star ratings, whereas I am a slave to it because it's there. I have to do it. But then I will give something a star rating and then go like weeks later we'll look at it and go,
no, that was generous.
Really? What was surprising is the amount of movies that I would have thought of last year's that I would have thought I gave 5 out of 5, and I didn't. I gave them 4.
You're dead stingy with your 5 out of 5s, though, aren't you?
I am really stingy with my 5 out of 5. But my sweet spot is the 3.5 to 4.5. And that's where I think that anyone who likes me, this sweet spot should be. If you're going below that, then maybe movies aren't for you.
They have to be full Fallout for you to get a 5 out of 5, don't they?
Yeah, they have to really fucking like them. There was movies in my top 10 last year that only got a 4.5.
Yeah.
But I think that I've maybe been a bit, hedging my bets a little bit.
I don't really ascribe to number ratings.
That's fair.
I'm a bit more loosey-goosey than that.
I quite like the idea of...
But then I'm very unlikely. Like, a film has to properly piss me off to give it a shit.
Yeah, you don't give a lot of shit, yeah.
Outside the Wire fucking deserved it.
Yeah, it was. Next question, though. We do have another question. So I hope
Ian, do you have anything to add to that conversation?
No, not particularly. I mean, I'd say I probably am more liberal with my 5 out of 5s than Mark is, certainly. But I think it's more because my definition of a 5 out of 5 is it might not be perfect, but I wouldn't really ask to change anything.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm like with 5 out of 5. Maybe I need to reassess that.
Maybe you need to be less of a bitch.
Maybe I do.
No, it's different strokes for different folks, though, isn't it? You know, it's I mean, I don't know. I mean, like people who like say that they love films, but then seem to just give everything 7 out of 10. I would maybe question a little bit, you know. But yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, it's subjective. But definitely shit, definitely not shit. Touching cloth, and then the other accoutrement we have there. You know, I don't think it's I don't know. Personally, I think it's better than a 5-star ranking for this podcast because it's more in line with our way of doing things, I suppose. You know, and even though it's Suspiria, that was one of those ratings I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot what Suspiria when I was like, oh god, that is one of our ratings. That's the rating we keep forgetting we have.
What is it for again? I can't remember now.
Something that's beyond definitely shit.
Yeah, just like really fucking shit.
Just like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like The Grudge would be that for me.
Yeah.
Where it's like you actually need to get the fuck off my premises.
Yeah. Borat, the last Borat movie would have been that for me.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Would have been that. Absolutely. Rick Kidd at Rick J. Kidd. As it is completely Baltic at the moment, what are your favourite films / sequences with a snow setting?
I love that. I love it when people say when it's cold and the people say it's Baltic. I love it. Makes me laugh.
When the woman's driving the Tesla in the snowman.
I like skiing movies.
You do.
I like a skiing movie. So I'm going to throw in Hot Tub Time Machine.
Mate, you need to on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah, there's a skiing sequence in that. Ski School and Ski School 2. Ski Patrol.
Electric Boogaloo.
There's a Sam Raimi one with Bill Paxton and
A Simple Plan.
A Simple Plan, yeah. That's a fucking great movie. Fargo. I'm just mentioning movies that have snow in them now.
Snowpiercer.
I mean, The Thing's almost too obvious, isn't it?
But it's there. Snow movies. Snow movies. Let's have a look. Oh, Whiteout. Whiteout's a fucking good movie.
Fucking Whiteout. Wow, yeah, all right, nice.
I really like Whiteout. We own Whiteout on iTunes. I bought that for $7.99.
Of course you did.
Because I wanted to watch it. Yeah. Fucking Day After Tomorrow. Fucking. There's some good
Oh
ones
yeah,
there.
The Shining. Actually, that's a good shout.
Nah, fuck off.
No, the bit in the maze where he gets frozen in the snow. That's good. You
Yeah, it is.
Fuck up, you fucking wanker.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, you fucking wanker.
Little bitch, if you don't like it.
That should be on my tombstone.
Yeah, it should actually, yeah. Just as a warning to beyond the grave.
Yeah.
Or as a guideline for how to speak to you for the afterlife.
That's a bit disrespectful, isn't it? No, it's what he would have wanted. He would have wanted zero respect.
Oh, another one. As much as I don't like the movie, what's that awful movie with Tom Hiddleston that came out a few years ago?
Warhorse.
No, The House. I want to say
Crimson
Pacific
Peak.
Rim, Crimson Peak. The bit where the red footprints are coming through.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
That is quite good.
I didn't mind Crimson Peak now, our next watch of it. We did like
There's some pretty awful acting going on in there.
It's not as good as I would have hoped it was going to be.
I think that's the point. It's not terrible, and if you take it for the melodramatic vibe that it's obviously going for, then it's much more palatable. But it should be so much better. It was such a disappointment. The fact that What's Her Face was in it should have been a massive red flag from the start.
Mia Wasikowska.
That's it, Mia Wasikowska, yeah. Because she's just fucking terrible in everything. Still not forgiven her for The Lovely Bones.
Can I throw out a guilty pleasure and a series of guilty pleasure movies for me? And things like The Day After Tomorrow, weather movies.
Yeah.
I love a weather movie. And so I really like The Day After Tomorrow. I watch The Day After Tomorrow like every year. And it's one of those, hug of a movies that you have.
Yeah.
It's one of those for me. Just a disaster movie, but it's snowy and it feels like it's over 2 hours, but not like 3 hours long. It's like 2 and a bit hours long, so you can have a good fucking. You can sit down, start off with a Pepsi, and end with a nice hot drink.
You love a nice hot drink, don't
Yes. So it's that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's The Day After Tomorrow is one of those movies that I will watch if like I'm feeling like either a little bit under the weather or a little bit out of sorts, and Becky's gaming. I'll go upstairs and be like, oh yeah, Day After Tomorrow.
What's that?
Shit out of
you
that.
want to watch Day After Tomorrow tonight? Is that what you're saying?
No. But yeah, so I would say that for snowy movies.
We mentioned it earlier. Wind River's very snowy.
The Wind River is quite snowy. Very bleak.
Oh, actually, I've got Horror Brain has engaged. Pontypool's a good snowy movie.
Pontypool is a good snowy movie.
Yeah.
And 30 Days of Night's snowy as well, isn't it?
30 Days of Night is snowy. 30 Days of Night's a good movie, actually.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah. And it's got what's his face in it who's just like
Josh
disappeared.
Hartnett. No, he's coming up in something soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whose movie is it?
I feel like he's one of our like Brendan Fraser collection of actors that we do this conversation every few weeks.
Yeah, he is. But I need to find out because he's in somebody's movie that's coming out soon. Not you.
Yeah, there's actually
Guy Ritchie. He's in the new Guy Ritchie.
Oh, Five Eyes. Is he really?
Wrath of Man.
Oh, have they renamed it, or is it a different one? Is this the Jason Statham one?
Yeah, this is Jason Statham.
Oh, they must have renamed it.
Yeah. He's Josh Hartnett's in that.
Boom.
And so's Post Malone.
Isn't Aubrey Plaza in that as well?
I don't think so.
Oh, he's not doing. Is this just a different Guy Ritchie one?
It could be. Oh, he's also going to be in. Josh Hartnett's also going to be in the new James Franco movie.
Yeah, no, hang on. Five Eyes. Jason Statham, Aubrey Plaza, Josh Hartnett, Carrie It Always, Bugsy Malone.
They're different films. Bugsy Malone.
It says here Bugsy Malone. And then Wrath of Man.
We've got Five Eyes and Wrath of Man.
Is that post-production or is that in production?
In production.
In post-production, yeah. Wrath of Man is in post-production and Five Eyes is currently filming. Jeez, fucking Guy Ritchie's going at a fucking lick at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is.
He'd be The Gentleman in production. And obviously that...
No, but Guy Ritchie, he's very much got a mojo at the moment.
So hang on, Bugsy Malone is in one of them and Post Malone is in the other.
What's a Bugsy Malone?
He's a rapper.
Is he a rapper?
Yeah.
Bugsy with a Z.
Fucking hell.
He's in The Gentleman.
So he's just in both of them. That's great. Yeah, because Five Eyes is the one that's shooting at the moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and that's due to come out later on this year, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
So there's a possibility that Guy Ritchie could have 2 movies out this year.
Fucking amazing.
He had 2 movies out last year. No, not last year, year before last, didn't he?
Ian sounds so excited.
Right, I am.
Wow. You like Jared Leto looking at those murder pictures?
Oh yeah, man, I'm got a boner.
Oh dear.
Do you know what? Good on him, Guy Ritchie, because he's clearly in some kind of creative fucking mojo and going, do you know what? Because he said before that he doesn't think that he made enough of his reputation post Snatch. That he didn't. He basically did, between Snatch and Sherlock Holmes, he made 3 movies that, you know, that he only really likes one of them. And it was a 10-year period where he should have made, like, at that point, he should have made like 5 movies that were all fucking great. And it seems like now he's gone, do you know what? Balls to this.
Make him.
I'm going to make them.
Yeah.
That's fucking incredible. Good for him.
Yeah.
God, I'm looking forward to that. What a treat.
Yeah. So at some point this year, hopefully in the fucking cinema, we'll get to go and watch a Jason Statham, Scott Eastwood, Holt McCartney, Post Malone, and Josh Hartnett.
Great.
Post Malone.
Okay, I'm up for that.
Right, on that very exciting note, thank you very much for listening to this episode of Film Bastards. I won't do all the preamble I did at the start because that was a lot. Coming up next week, we're going to be reviewing Malcolm and Marie, the film people seem to either really like or really not like. And actually, nice double bill of films that people really like or people don't like. We're also going to be doing our mooted a few weeks back, now reality double bill of Southland Tales and Under the Silver Lake. So that's an interesting thematic trio, I believe. Right, I'm going to get the fuck out of Dodge. Goodbye, Mark.
Goodbye, Ian.
Goodbye, Becky.
Bye, Ian.
Goodbye, listener.
Goodbye, listener.
Bye, everyone.
Moana, make way, Moana, it's time you knew, the village of Motunui is all you need. The dancers are practicing, they dance to an ancient song.
Who needs a new song? This old one's all we need.
This tradition is our mission, and Moana, there's so much to do. Don't trip on the terror route, that's all you need. We share everything we make. We joke and we weave our baskets. The fishermen come back from the sea. Don't walk away, Moana, stay on the ground now. Our people will need a chief, and there you are. There comes a day when you're gonna look around and realize happiness is where you are. Consider the coconut, consider its trees, each part of the coconut, that's all we need.
We make our nets from the fibers, the water is sweet inside. We use the leaves to build fires, cook up the meat inside.
Consider the coconuts, the trunks and the leaves, the island gives us what we need. That's right, we stay, we're safe and we're well provided. And when we look to the future, there you are. You'll be okay. In time you'll learn just as I did. You must find happiness right where you are.
I like to dance with the water, the undertow and the waves. The water is mischievous, ha! I like how it misbehaves. The village may think I'm crazy or say that I drift too far. But once you know what you like, well, there you are. You are your father's daughter. Stubbornness and pride, mind what he says, but remember, you may hear a voice inside. And if the voice starts to whisper, to follow the farthest star, Moana, that voice inside is who you are.
We weave our nets from the fibers, we use the meat inside. We sing these songs in our fires, we have mouths to feed inside.
The village believes in us, the village believes. The island gives us what we need, and no one leaves.
So here I'll stay, people beside me. And when I think of tomorrow, there we are. I'll lead the way. I'll have my people to guide me. We'll build our future together. Where we are. Every path leads you back to where you are. You can find happiness right where you are. Where you are.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.